Florida Republicans are at it again with their Don't Say Gay bill, which of course is not the official name of the bill. That is what media and critics have dubbed it, because basically what it does is it outlaws teachers and other school officials from discussing sexuality or gender identity in Florida public schools. Schools that many of these students who may be grappling with how they feel inside, need somebody trusted to talk to, they often will turn to teachers in schools because they don't want their family to know. They're not there yet. Some of them may never get there. And now Florida wants to criminalize teachers for talking with these students about it. And the piece of legislation just got so much worse. The Republican lawmaker who introduced the original bill slapped on an amendment this week. An amendment that would force teachers, legally force the teachers to out the child to the family. So if the child approaches the teacher and says, listen, I'm LGBTQ, the teacher has to say, okay, now I got to go tell your family. And we all now have to have a sit-down talk where you are now forced to come out to your family, and I basically have to out you if you're not willing to sit down and have this big discussion with everybody. We're taking an already vulnerable part of the population, a part of the population that statistically is far more likely to engage in self-harm and other self-destructive habits because they do not have the support that they need. And the state of Florida, the Republicans in the state of Florida, are taking that group and making their lives intentionally harder for no other reason than to gain political points. I posted this story, by the way, on my Twitter account on Tuesday. And a lot of the comments said the same thing. And it's exactly what I thought when I first saw it too. We're going to see a lot more people take their own lives because of this. Again, this is already a portion of the population that has a much higher rate of doing that than the rest of the population. And we're forcing them to have these uncomfortable talks that they are not yet ready for. And if they were, they would have had them. And now we're legally forcing the teachers to force those conversations onto those families. An earlier version of the amendment actually carved out an exception, right? If you know that the kid could be ostracized from the family, if they could possibly be kicking the kid out, if they may abuse the kid, then you don't have to tell them. Well, they stripped that part out. So even if the teacher knows that I have to go out this kid to their family, and this family is going to turn around and beat the shit out of this kid because that's who they are, I still have to do it under penalty of law here in the state of Florida if this thing passes. Well, luckily, a very clever Democratic representative, a woman by the name of Anna Escamani, has introduced another amendment to it. And her amendment would allow students to sue the Florida Department of Education for damages for, quote, irreparable harm caused by the disclosure of their sexual orientation. And unfortunately, because this state is solidly 100% controlled by Republicans, this is the best we can do. The Democrats don't have the numbers to kill this legislation. Ron DeSantis, our idiot Republican autocratic governor, has already said he supports it. It's going to pass. In fact, I think it's actually supposed to pass the House today. Whether or not this amendment is part of it remains to be seen. Whether or not Escamani's amendment becomes a part of it, I seriously doubt it. It's a Democratic amendment. They're not going to do it. But at least she tried something. We can't kill it. May as well make it to where these students can sue the schools, right? Or sue the Florida Department of Education. This is insane. People will die. Teachers will lose their jobs to protect these kids. So we're going to have a teaching crisis. I'm sorry. I'm so friggin' pissed off about this story that I'm kind of tripping over my words here. So forgive me for that. But this absolutely is making my blood boil. We're going to have a teaching crisis. We're going to have a mental health crisis for these individuals that are now going to be forced to come out to their families. And as I mentioned, coming out, and full disclosure, I've obviously never had to do this, right? But for the people that do, this is a terrifying time of their lives. They do it when they feel that they're ready, or sometimes they don't ever do it because they don't want to be ostracized by their families. They don't want to be kicked out. They don't want to be abused. And they may never be ready for those conversations. And that's why they need a strong support network, which is what the teachers and the administrators are supposed to be. And we're taking that away from them. People are going to die because of this. The Republicans know that. All the other groups out there fighting against this legislation, they've made that much clear too. But these Republicans don't care. They'd rather have a couple of dead kids on their hands than not be able to deliver this red meat for their idiotic, brain-dead base here in the state of Florida. Hey everyone, this is Aspen. And did you know that for the low cost of $0 per day, you can subscribe to the Fair and Balanced YouTube channel? We also encourage you to like, comment, and share. But again, click that subscribe button and help Aspen not be so grumpy.